Please do not kick me. I am already hurt, that is what I said on the cold tile with my sleeve torn and my knees stinging, while a room full of strangers studied me like a stain. Somebody forgot to mop, and then the heavy doors opened. Not automatic, the kind you feel in your ribs. And everything shifted even before I looked up. And if you have ever been small in a place built to make you feel smaller, you know exactly what that air feels like. My name is Kara Dawson. I am 30. I grew up on casseroles, coupon books, and a church choir that could cut through any storm. I buy paperbacks off the $1 table and iron my clothes like it is a love language. That night I pulled on my blush dress, not expensive, just right, and I walked into Alder and Ash with a text from my husband Noah that said dinner at 7:30, surprise, and I smiled because his surprises usually mean bad card tricks or warm pie, not rooms where the silverware has better posture than most people. The hostess parked me by a column with a kind smile that still said, "This might not be your kind of place," and I thought, fine, corners are calmer. You can watch without being watched. Noah texted running late. 15 minutes. I could wait, I could pretend I belonged until he arrived, and then I would simply belong, because that is what love does. It makes the chair yours. 6 minutes in, 4 women drifted past, like a chandelier had come to life. Silver dresses, sharp perfume. The tall one looked at me first, and over me second. She smiled like she was testing a grape with her back teeth and said, "Sweetheart, wrong turn, service entrance is in the back." Her friends laughed, the sort of laugh that makes glass wince. I told her I was waiting for someone, quiet, even the way my mother taught me. And she tilted her head. "You know what I mean, the look that pretends generosity while hunting for a bruise," then she said, "for a busboy or the janitor, because that dress came with a mop, and I stood to leave before my courage had time to get its shoes on. But the tall one stepped in, not so fast. Fingers like little red hammers pinched my sleeve and yanked fabric, split a shove from behind. I stumbled. The floor was right there, and my voice found the only words left. Please do not kick me. I am already hurt. The laughing snapped into hush phones, rose like periscopes. The manager showed up with red tie and busy hands like he was shooing pigeons instead of protecting a person. Ladies, please, miss, please, we will handle this. Handle as if I were a package. Then those heavy doors rolled open, and the air tilted. Noah crossed the room with the quiet of a decision already made. He knelt his jacket over my shoulders. Like a small roof, you are safe now. 3 words, with more weight than every insult in the place. He stood and faced them. Who touched my wife, not loud, not theatrical, just a sentence that makes people stand straighter because something true is walking through. The tall woman shrank into her necklaces. The manager started explaining to nobody, "Sir, I did not know she was..." And Noah looked at him, the way you look at a locked door that just lied about being open. So if she was not, it would be fine. The man's mouth made shapes. Security drifted into place like they had been drawn there. And the room remembered the part of the story it had skipped. Noah is not a +1. He is Noah Hale, the founder of Hale and Harbor, the company that owns Alder and Ash, and half the lobby bars that try to look like living rooms, yeah. That happened, whispers moved like wind under a door. Noah lifted a hand. Small motion, big, meaning close the doors. Keep everyone comfortable. No one leaves until we review the footage, respectful and thorough. They put the lobby video on the wall like movie night for people who forgot how to be human. There I was with hopeful shoulders. There were the women stepping into their performance. There was the rip, the fall, the laughter. The moment I said, "Please do not kick me. I am already hurt," and watching yourself. The version of you who does not know the next frame yet is like standing in an elevator while someone yanks the emergency stop. Noah did not look away. He let truth do the talking. And when it ended, he exhaled the breath he had been holding. Since I texted, I am here. To the manager, he said, "You had 3 chances. When you decided seeing was not knowing, and when you tried to downgrade harm into a housekeeping problem. You are suspended now, pending a full review." The man reached for a sentence and missed to the women. Noah's voice went softer. Not every mistake is a crime, but not every cruelty gets to hide behind champagne. You will be escorted out and banned from every Hale and Harbor property until you complete a restorative program that costs time, humility service. Not money, one of them started to cry, the surprised kind, the kind that sounds like somebody finally hearing themselves. People will argue about that moment forever. Was it justice or theater power or protection? But I will tell you what it felt like from inside his jacket. It felt like the curtain fell and the stage underneath showed teeth. It felt like someone turned the lights up to the wattage where lies cannot lean in the corner anymore. In a quiet spot off the dining room, I asked Noah the question that had been pacing barefoot in my chest for months. Why did you never tell me he looked like a man trying to count stars? He knows he cannot count. I did not lie, Kara. I just kept the loud part of my life in another room so the quiet could breathe. I wanted to be loved without invoices, and I wanted a porch more than a spotlight. I wanted to spare you the part of this world that peels the kindness off people. And I told him the simple, hard thing. You do not protect someone by hiding the light switch. You just become the dark for both of you. And he nodded. You are right. When I saw you on that floor, I realized the price of pretending. I could keep those worlds apart without anything falling through the crack. We walked out under a white sky. The story hit the internet like summer thunder, and for a week time went stretchy, slow and fast together. Noah canceled big meetings, made tea in the batter-scarred saucepan because he broke the kettle years ago and refuses to replace it. He listened while I gave names to the anger I had kept folded like a sweater in the back of my heart. And a month later, we started the Northlight Trust. Not ribbon-cutting charity. A real place where the first thing you get is a chair, and the second is someone who remembers your story without asking you to bleed for it again. Workshops that sound like conversations, mentors who make eye contact without making it a test. Circles in every restaurant we own where the quietest voice speaks first. You would be amazed how fast a place changes when respect is policy and not a slogan. I went back to Alder and Ash with a clipboard and 2 pens, because 2 pens makes you look like you know what you are doing, and near the host stand was a small plaque I had not asked for. Kindness is policy. Dignity is non-negotiable. I stood there longer than necessary. The staff greeted me with warmth that did not feel like theater, and by the door stood the tall woman from that night, no glitter, just a camel coat and eyes trying to land. She said, "Kara, I do not expect," and I cut the word free. Do not say expect, just tell the truth. I am sorry. Not for getting caught for being exactly who I was, she said, and I let silence sit between us until it turned into a mirror. I told her I am not going to hug you, to prove I am gracious, and I am not going to keep you from changing. Do not make what you did smaller, make what you do next bigger, she breathed, like she had been underwater, and finally found a ladder. I will, she said, and I believed enough of it to hope. The manager was not gone forever. He was suspended, retrained, moved to a store with a leader who treats power like a tool instead of a toy. Some call that soft, some call that justice. I call it a chapter. And months later, he looked me in the eye and said my name without checking my clothes first. That counts maybe not for everything, but for something. You want the bow, I know, and I will not pretend. The knot is perfect. Noah and I still argue porch versus boardroom. You cannot set down a life that big. You can only learn to carry it without crushing what you love. He still makes tea in the saucepan. I still haunt the library, dollar table. People at the farmer's market sometimes whisper the line to me like a password. please do not kick me. I am already hurt, and I answer with the new one I earned. We are already hurt. The point is what we do next. Here is your twist if you missed it in the noise. Noah used power to lock the doors and make a room watch itself, yes, and he also opened them afterward, with rules meant to outlive his anger, that plaque those circles, the idea that kindness can be a policy, not a mood. That is the part I want on the record. And here is your ending, the one that feels like standing on a balcony when the air smells like rain. If you were me, would you forgive the tall woman or make the ban permanent? If you were Noah, would you shut the doors or handle it quietly? If you ran Alder and Ash, would the manager get a second chapter, or is the first one the whole book? Tell me what justice looks like to you as a habit, not a headline. Tell me about the rooms that made you small and the moment you stood up, the exact size you have always been, like if kindness should be policy, subscribe. If you want more stories told, plain about quiet people, doing loud things, and drop your take in the comments. Right versus wrong money, versus mercy power, versus grace. Because the next time a room decides what you are worth before you say your name, I hope it has to answer to you.